You. Just a quick video, real quick. I didn't feel like recording and putting it up there later or whatever. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just do it live. And I didn't even know I could go live, but now that I know, I'm going live. So anyway, this is a piece of advice for people that got relatives that's getting ready to come home from from prison or whatever, right? Uh, And this is no offense to any of my relatives. Don't take offense to nothing that I'm getting ready to say. I'm just speaking from the perspective of an individual who had to come home from doing time in prison and going through the emotions of the ups and downs of the challenges that come along with the process. Right. First thing, you got to take in consideration, and I'm not trying to be funny, but not everybody is conducive to a healthy re-entering into society. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about you individuals who are into illegal activity. You struggle with some type of addiction. You might not think that you're addicted, but if you smoke weed on a daily basis, you are definitely addicted. Try to quit, see what happens. You got a drinking issue, you know what I mean? Things of that nature. Me personally, I feel like you're not mentally equipped to be there and assist somebody that's coming home from jail that's trying to do the right thing. Uh, First, you know what I mean, like, especially for somebody that's been down double digits, a lot of things about society have changed. Um, Technology is different. I myself, when I came home from doing time, I didn't know how to use the cell phones, and I didn't even know. I mean, I knew of Google, but I didn't even know how to use Google. I didn't know how to upload my resume. I didn't know how to use a computer. I didn't know how to, do the application process on the internet. Just didn't know. And the reality of the affair, this is a slight to my people, but they didn't really have the time to help me with that stuff. You know what I mean? You just coming home, uh, people working, you know what I mean? People, going to school or doing whatever they're doing. They don't have no time to be sitting around holding no grown man's hand, right? So I had to go to the library and figure it out for myself. You know what I mean? Sometimes it would take me 2 hours to fill out literally one application. Literally. Um, the people who work at halfway houses and places like that, that are more trained and more accustomed to dealing with people that's come home from prison, they can give these individuals coming home the help that they need. You're gonna need, there's grants, there's public assistance that is afforded to an individual coming home. You may not have access to this information. You may not know where to tell the individual to go to. You may not have the time to take this individual where they need to go. So they need to be somewhere where they do got somebody that's there that can kind of coach and guide. And it may even be other guys that's in the facility that is recently released that can also aid and assist and give advice. You know what I mean? You need a job. They need a job. They need their license. They need their ID. If you don't already have it prior to getting out, you know what I mean? You're gonna need all of this stuff to make the transition a lot smoother. You know what I mean? Coming home from doing time for long amount of time, it's not an easy process. It's definitely something that it takes time to adjust. Some people get frustrated uh, because they be expecting so much so fast, and that's just not the reality of life. I got a friend of mine that you know ultimately ended up killing himself after a year being home. And I'm a trucker, so I can only do but so much. I used to converse with him on the phone before he came home, And afterwards, you know what I mean, I would go check up on him and go see him when I could and stuff like that. Um, my personal recommendation, if you are an individual that just been released from prison and you're trying to do the right thing, you're trying to get yourself together, I'm just saying for myself personally and other individuals that I've seen come home from prison, uh, and be what they call a success story. Don't drink, don't smoke, don't be so caught up trying to chase women right off the bat. You know what I mean? Get yourself together. Focus on getting yourself together. Do whatever your plan was. You know what I mean? You need a plan A, you need a plan B, and you need a plan C. And this is true story, I was advised coming home from jail before I got out to be, go get my CDL. I remember the guy's name. He's a friend of mine. I remember the day we had the conversation. I looked at him, I'm like, bro, I'm not coming home after doing all this time and driving no truck. Are you crazy? You know what I mean? But the reality of the affair, my situation, put me in the truck. You know what I mean? Nobody want to give you a job. People discriminate against you because they know you've been in prison. Every smiling face, that's got a promising tongue is not true to their word. That's just the reality. You got to take that on the chin for you individuals that just that's coming home. Take that on the chin and just keep it moving, man. Stay persistent. You know what I mean? Whatever activity you was into while you were in there, continue to do it. It works. It helps. Continue to work out. Continue to obtain knowledge. Read books. Don't sit around sitting in the house. Don't be smoking weed and doing all that stuff that's not conducive to getting yourself together. If that's what you come out here to do, then so be it. But if you're trying to do the right thing, keep this in mind. Yes, weed is legal, but everybody doesn't want somebody on their job site that smokes weed, and they're gonna test you. And 9 times out of 10, you're on probation or parole anyway. So why even play with your freedom in your life like that? If you built for that, then hey man, more power to you. Go ahead and go back and don't cry about it when it happens. You know what I mean? Take your hit on the chin like a man. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And let's be real. Let's be real. A lot of people don't have the resources that is necessary. It's not too much extras to go around when you're not really set in your own self, your own aura of being whatever type of adult you are in society. So if I get it. You love your people. You want your brother, your cousin, or whoever, to come stay with you. It's not being selfish, but it is being selfish because, if you're not fit or you don't have the time or you don't have the resources to aid this individual, you are hindering them from effectively re-entering into society. And let's be clear. If you are looking for your relative or your significant other to come home and go straight back to being able to provide for you, it is not going to happen. Not legally, unless they already got some type of business set up, or they, got even people who got college degrees. I know some people who, had a hard time getting a gig, or at least getting a good paying job with college degrees. You know what I mean? You have to give that individual some time, a cushion to get themselves together. It does not happen in 30 days. For some people, it doesn't happen in 90 days. For some people, it doesn't happen in a whole year. Have you thought that far ahead before you offer to open your home to somebody who's just coming home from jail? I'm telling you, you're going to stress that individual out. These are responsibilities that this individual has not had to deal with. I did 11 years. I was 22. I came home when I was 34 years old. I was expected to be a earner quickly. I was needed. But the reality of the affair, what ended up really happening, I didn't get a job until 4 months after I got out. And it wasn't a real good paying job neither. Happy to have it. You know what I mean? But it wasn't the gig of gigs. It wasn't an ideal situation for somebody coming home. but it did give me a start, so I'm appreciative of that, right? So, and I don't want to make this too long. That's that was my intention. I just wanted to give some advice uh, for you individuals, man, who got people that's locked up, man. You got to think about what's better for that person. You know what it takes to make it out here, even if you're not making it. So you have to consider what this individual is going to have to go through, even though there's no way you could, because unless you experience come home from jail, uh, there's no way. You're not going to know what to do. You're not going to know how that individual's feeling. You know what I mean? It's not easy. I remember, no exaggeration, I know some people talk about, coming home from prison like, oh, this is the... It took me a couple days to get used to seeing cars drive. I misjudged the speed of the vehicles as I was walking across the street. I almost got hit one day. No exaggeration. Four-way intersection. You know what I mean? I'm shooting out there. The light turned green so fast, it was crazy. And I'm walking, and I'm thinking like, yeah, okay, and the people almost hit me. I'm like, damn. So I started just running across the street like I'm gonna just jog. Whew. You know what I mean? I'm being honest. I'm not into the just telling stories just to entertain or make people. I'm being for real. You know what I mean? Because in prison, you walk on what they call a boulevard, right? It's one way. There is no cars. Imagine this: 22 all the way to 34. Every prison that I go to, it's one way around the boulevard. You know what I mean? If you go this way, they're going to be down on you. Like, oh, where you going? You ain't supposed to be going. You got to go this way, right? Everything is the same for the most part. For years, repetitive. Everything is the same in prison. Every day, every week, every month, every year. Out here, everything is different. Stuff changes, people change, things change, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? So anyway, take that in consideration, people. I decided to go publicly and say this because I've seen situations where, people think that they're doing their relative a good, a solid, but in reality, you're being selfish. If that individual's coming home with the mindset of getting himself together or herself in some cases, and they don't got no intentions on getting in the street or, doing certain stuff, and they done told this to you, and that's the life you live, step back. Be like, hey man, I don't think you coming to my house is a good idea. All we do is smoke weed and play, the game all day or whatever. Like, that's not gonna motivate you to go out and come home and get yourself together. You wake up every day going to go find a job or whatever, and we just laying around blowing tree all day playing the game. You come back, you're sitting in the same spot like, yo, what's up, yo? Yeah, we ain't doing nothing, just still sitting here playing the game. You in the way. Real talk. I'm telling you in the way. And then get your big grown butt up and go get you a freaking job. 10-4. Anyway, I said my piece. Y'all be cool. Peace.